Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today is the day 20 for our Fortigate Firewall. And today we are going to understand side-to-side VPN with NAT-T, which is very interesting and very complex topic as well. So I'll break down the NAT-T, how exactly it works, okay, what exactly it is, why it is required, how we are going to configure this in Fortigate Firewall, and how we can verify and troubleshoot NAT-T. So all these points are very much important, guys, and interesting as well. Okay, so I'll recommend you to watch this video till the end so that you can understand what is NAT-T and how you are going to implement in Fortigate Firewall. And also I'll be explaining you how in real time NAT-T works and how you are going to do that particular configuration or troubleshooting when you get, or during the interview time as well. They are going to ask you about NAT-T. If it is all about VPN or something, NAT-T will come into the picture. Okay, so watch this video till then, and also I'll request you to please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that you never miss a video from me. So without any further delay, let's get started. So friends, now we'll understand what is NAT-T. So network address translation traversal. Okay, with the help of this diagram we'll try to understand. So as you can see, we have headquarter Fortigate and we have a branch Fortigate. Now we are basically building a IPsec connection between them, right? Now in this IPsec connection, if we have any device, or if we have a NAT device basically, so which is NATing this interface IP address when it is going through this device. Okay, so NAT-T will come into the picture. Okay, now what exactly happens? It is basically all automatic. Okay, we don't need to do anything, only some of the configuration that we need to do it. We don't have to configure any specific things to NAT-T. Basically we have to enable NAT-T in the IPsec option, and we have to just change some of the configuration, that's all. Okay, what exactly happens we will try to understand, but for now just understand NAT-T is nothing but allowing the NAT device when we have a IPsec connection. So meaning that when we have this IPsec tunnel, okay, if we have NAT device in between, how NAT device can be supported when we have a IPsec connection. Okay, so let's understand with the header information now. So now friends, we'll understand why NAT-T is required with the help of these two diagrams. Okay, so before we understand NAT-T, let's understand the flow first. Okay, so let's say this is a PC. For an example, you just understand this is our PC and it initiates a connection. It goes to Fortigate Firewall, then it is getting encrypted. After that it is going to IPsec tunnel. It reaches to other Fortigate Firewall, and then after it is reaching to other network, like maybe a branch network PC, right? So when the traffic gets initiated, the traffic look like this. Okay, so the IP header, and then there will be layer 4 header and the payload, like the layer 5, layer 6 and layer 7. Okay, now once it reaches to Fortigate, and Fortigate thinks that yeah, as per the policy we have to encrypt the traffic, the header look like this. So this header, like the IPsec and the payload, basically this will be encrypted. This part will be encrypted. So our private information, the original packet, will be basically encrypted, and there will be a new header which will be get attached by this Fortigate Firewall. Okay, so there will be a header which gets attached to this, and in this header the public IP address information. So our source will be the public header, and destination public IP, and the destination will be the peer VPN IP address, right? The branch public IP address where the VPN is getting terminated, right? Now just think about, let's say if I have a NAT device in between. So this IP header, what is attached to this IPsec, now this IP will get changed during the transit, because NAT will change the public IP address. Okay, that is fine. If we have a PAD device, then in that case what is needed, the IP will get changed, and there is no option, and we don't have any option for layer 4 information, because in PAD the port address translation will be happening, right? So in PAD, if you try to understand, IP address will get changed, as well as the port address or the port number also gets changed, right? So IP, which is basically NAT translation, and port, meaning that port is also getting changed. So layer 3 information is getting changed, and layer 4 information also get changed. But if you see the IP header, we are just attaching the IP, a new IP header. We are not attaching anything. So layer 3, that is fine. But if layer 4 is needed, then how PAD will work? So for that reason, NAT-T will come into the picture. So with the IP header, there will be a UDP header will get attached. Okay, so this will support the PAD translation. So meaning that the layer 3 is having the public IP address. Also there will be a layer 4 header which will get attached, and now the other part will be basically encrypted. Okay, so what does it mean? That to allow a NAT device, no matter whether it's a static NAT or PAD, a new UDP header will get attached, and now the communication will be on UDP 4500 port number. Okay, so in between the communication will be on UDP 500 before. After that, once they direct NAT-T, the communication start happening on UDP 4500. Okay, so if you want to understand that when this UDP 4500 will come, I have already made a video. You can click on I button and you'll get the video. If you want me to explain it again, please comment down so that I'll create a new video, do a packet capture with. Okay, so this is all about why the NAT-T, when the NAT-T comes with the help of header, we understand why NAT-T is needed. Okay, so let's understand how we are going to configure in Fortigate Firewall. Okay, first we will understand little bit of configuration, what are the changes that we have to perform, and then we go further and do the practical of it. So let's move on to the topology of our NAT-T, and then we'll understand what configuration change that we have to do. Okay, so let's move on to the lab now. So friends, let's move on to the lab and we'll see how to configure and how to verify and troubleshoot NAT-T. Okay, so let's rub this out and we'll go to topology. So this is our topology. Let me explain you the topology. So this will be our outside interface for site 1. Okay, this is our inside, and this is the range. This is the public IP address, and this will be outside for site 2, and this is for inside. It's very simple. Okay, now as we have placed a NAT device on this cloud, and we are basically NATing this IP address to 201.1.50. okay, so we will be NATing that IP address and we will be sending to it. Okay, so let's see how basically it works, and we will try to see in this configuration. Okay, so this will be our dashboard for Fortigate, which is site 1. Okay, so friends, this is our dashboard, and I have already configured the basic IP addressing. So I have configured the IP addresses. Okay, and I have given a static route to reach to this Fortigate. I have configured the IP address in our ISP routers. So all the initial IP addressing part has been done from my side. So here we need to configure the VPN. Okay, so let's start doing the IPsec tunnel over here. So let's create a tunnel. Now we are not going to follow any templates. We'll go for custom, and we will type it as site 1 to site 2. Fine, and we'll go next. Now here we have to manually enter all the information. So now here I have this IP address 200.1.1.10, which I am going to configure here. So 201.1.1.10. okay, now which interface that I am going to send this traffic? So port number 2. So we'll select port number 2 over here, and the local gateway we are going to define if it is not needed. It's not mandatory. If you want to define, you can define it. Okay, now NAT Traversal we have to enable because we are going to do the NAT. Okay, so we'll enable it, and these are the keep alive and DPTs and all. Okay, now once you create it, basically all this information will be created by once you create this tunnel. So I am only enabling the adding routes, which I don't want it right now. I'll be doing by myself, so I'm just disabling it. So I'll just put the password over here. Okay, now here we can choose the version over here. Okay, so here I'm choosing version 1, and this is main mode. I will choose any of it, and I'll close all the other. So Defi Hellman group 14 and 5. Okay, and here we need to define the local and the remote address. So local address is 10.1.1.0/24, and the remote is 20.1.1.0/24. okay, so these are the two. If I go advanced, nothing is there, like all it is the default I'll be choosing. I'll not do any other things, and we are going to create it. So we have created the VPN tunnel. Now what is the next things that we have to do? We have to go to network, and we'll define a static route. Okay, so here where we have to define, we are going to this private subnet that we need to define over here. So 20.1.1.0/24, and how I'm going to reach over there? I am going to reach through this VPN tunnel. Okay, so this is what we need to give. We don't need to give the next hop and all, because the traffic will be going through the tunnel. Okay, so we'll click OK, and we are done with this. Now the next option that we are going to do is we are going to create a firewall policy, because we have to allow the policy. So it is from site 1 to site 2. Okay, what will be our incoming? It is port 3, which is connected to our LAN, right? And after that I'll be connecting to site 2, because the traffic will be going through the tunnel. So and here I'll just make it all, and in production you should not do all. It's better to put some kind of source and destination. So all, we don't need to do NAT. This is policy, so we don't need to do NAT over here. Okay, so we have already created. Now we'll create a clone reverse. So from port 3 to side tunnel, and from tunnel to port 3. Now you will be seeing this one. The interfaces are all down, so we understand that the tunnel is not up, right? That is the reason it says that interface is down, but everything is fine. Okay, so we are basically done. We have created the tunnel information configuration, then we have given the routes, and then we have created the policy. Now same thing I am going to replicate over there, but there is little change which we need to keep in mind, which I am going to show you guys. So I will stop the video for now. I'll configure the other firewall and I'll show you what are the changes that I am going to perform. Okay, so friends, only here the peer IP address will get changed. Your private subnet, your encryption domain, your encryption policy, everything will remain the same. Only the peer IP address will get changed. The reason behind peer IP address will get changed, let's move on to the topology and let me explain you. Okay, so right now from this side perspective, this is the peer IP address, but when it goes to this NAT device, the IP address is getting changed to another IP address. So this site is seeing this site peer IP address as this one. So we have to configure the peer IP address as 201.1.50 because it is getting changed. Okay, so let's configure that and we'll try to do it. So 201.1.1.50. Okay, so this is the only change that we have to do it. From the other side, everything will remain the same. Okay, so let's configure. And so friends, from configuration wise, we have done the configuration. Now we will go to this PC. Okay, and we'll just try to see whether the IP addressings are properly configured or not. So this is 1.1 and it is going to, let's enlarge this so that you guys can see. So 10.1.1 it is. So this looks fine, and let's take the other one and we'll try to move it to, okay, so IP config. Let's take one more time, IP config. Now it is 20.1.1. We are good now. So what we are going to ping is ping 20.1.1.1. Okay, so let's see whether it's pingable or not. So now as you can see that we are able to ping, and once we go and try to check that out, so basically if I go to dashboard, network, and if I see over here the incoming and outgoing data is there. Okay, it's happening and it is working now. Okay, and if I try to show you the other one, go to dashboard, network, and now as you can see my peer IP address is 201.1.1.50. if you try to see the network IP address over here, it is 200.1.1.50, which is 201. And now if I try to show this IP address, let me log into the router and I'll show you. So this is a router. Let me refresh this. Okay, I guess because of this it is not showing anything, so let me put that way. So IP interface brief, show IP NAT translation. So if you see over here, the UDP 500 and UDP 4500 as well, because we are performing NAT. So this IP address is getting changed to this IP address on this port numbers. So now this means that the NAT, what is happening over here, it's the NAT-T is happening, and in that we are able to build our IPsec tunnel. So in real-time environment, if you have this kind of scenarios, try to do and configure. Let me know in the comment if you have faced this kind of issue in the past. Try to comment it in this video. This is what I wanted to show in this video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you have any suggestions, please put it on the comment, or you can send me a message on Facebook or Instagram. I can see a lot of comments or a lot of emails, very positive emails from you guys. I feel very supportive and I feel nice. Okay, you guys are my motivations. And also I'll request you to please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that you never miss a video from me. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next.